Can't hear me? Can you hear me now? We're just about ready to start, so those people who've kind of been asked to speak, come up and sit down. And any of the seats that are vacant, if you don't want to stand and you'd rather have a seat, you're welcome to come up and take any of the seats that we have up here, especially any of the older people like Chad Booth or Alex Cabral or anybody, these old guys that have a hard time standing. Any of you out on the outer perimeter, if you want to move in a little bit, you're welcome to. If we get close enough, it'll get warm. Okay, let me just tell you a little bit about why we're here today and what we're trying to do and what we're trying to accomplish. First of all, we want to thank everybody for coming out to our rally today. This rally is titled a thank you rally. And the reason that we want to have a thank you rally is because we really feel like the administration and the key people in the United States have listened to our local voices. And we're going to get a wonderful announcement coming up on Monday concerning the Bears Ears Monument. So we're here today to rally and thank those people who have been very involved, deeply involved in this issue. We especially want to thank the stewards of San Juan for all of the signs and all of the hard work that they've done from day one. They've been awesome. You know, government at the grassroots level is the most important government, in my opinion. When you get people who want to get involved in an issue on the ground level, that's the way government works the best, and that's truly what has happened here in San Juan County, and it's been a great thanks to our stewards of San Juan and to the local people who got involved in this issue. So thank you to all of those people. This is kind of what our program looks like today and what we're here to do today. But maybe before I go any further, we have a lot of news media here today, and some of them have come from a long ways away. If I start naming them, I'm going to leave somebody out. But we have the BBC here today. We have County Seat here today with Chad and Rhea. We have KSL here with Alex Cabral. We have one that not many of you know about. He's kind of a smaller group. That's Bill Boyle with the San Juan Record. We love Bill, and his posts, his live posts recently have really been helpful. We have the National Cattlemen's Association here today. We've been contacted by. I did an interview Thursday night with CBS. We've been contacted by NBC and Lester Holt. We might be doing an interview in Salt Lake tomorrow with him. Fox News. We've just had a tremendous amount of coverage on this issue because it's not just an issue concerned with just San Juan County. It's a national issue, and some of those people from national organizations have been pretty successful in telling a narrative that we think has been a false narrative. That have been nothing but lies about people in San Juan County. So we're glad to have these news organizations come and hear the truth today, and have been doing that from the very beginning. We're going to start today with an opening prayer by County Administrator Kelly Pearson. Then I will lead everybody in the pledge, and then the San Juan County Commissioners will speak. Myself, Rebecca, and Phil Lyman, and we'll go to that point. So Kelly, if you'll come up and offer a prayer.
Our Father in heaven, we're so grateful for this beautiful day we have in San Juan County. We're grateful for all those that are in attendance that have traveled so far. We pray that thou will bless them, that they'll travel back in safety. Father, we're grateful for thy hand in touching the presidents and having him make the right decision for our county. We're grateful for our sheriff and for all the deputies that help protect our county. We pray for them and their safety. We're grateful for the gospel in our lives and for our Savior Jesus Christ and all that he's done. And we say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thanks, Kelly. Now, if you'll join me in a pledge of allegiance to our flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I know there's some other people that are here that I didn't recognize. I just saw Marjorie Hahn there with the free range report. She's been awesome. Thanks, Marjorie, for coming over from Grand Junction. Any others that I haven't mentioned, if you'll tell me who you are, I'll be glad to mention who you are. I'm going to say some things today that might not sit well with everybody, but I'm trying to speak the truth. We want to thank specifically 3 people. First of all, we want to thank Orrin Hatch. And I know there's a lot of people that feel like Orrin's been in too long and that he needs to step down. I'm telling you right now, without Orrin Hatch, we wouldn't be here today thanking President Trump. We wouldn't be here today thanking Secretary Zinke. I know for a fact that Orrin Hatch, every time he met with the president over the last year, he whispered in his ear, "What are you going to do about Bears Ears? What are you going to do about Grand Staircase? I want to encourage you to do something about those monuments in Utah." Orrin Hatch has been a soldier for San Juan County, Garfield, and Kane. We owe a great thanks to Orrin Hatch. He's been on our side from day one, and I want to personally thank Orrin Hatch for what he's done for San Juan County. Also want to thank Secretary Zinke. He was great enough to come out in the spring and ride out on the Bears Ears with myself and Commissioner Lyman, Commissioner Benally, and 25 of our best horse riding friends. We had people out there from Washington, D.C. in their suits, in their patent leather shoes, climbing up on a horse. It was interesting, to say the least. It was a lot of fun, but especially Secretary Zinke. He was so down to earth, and I'm probably not supposed to be saying this, especially in front of the media, but we were riding along side by side, and he looked over at me and he said, "Commissioner, you don't drink, do you?" I said, "No, I don't. I've never picked up that habit." He says, "Well, if we fix this for you folks here in San Juan County, you're going to owe me a beer." I said, "You fix this in San Juan County, I'll get you a case." So I guess I'm on the tap for a case of beer for Secretary Zinke. I'm just not sure what kind he likes. We'll find that out. We're grateful to him for what he's done. We were on a phone call yesterday with Downing Margolinas, his administrative assistant. She was talking about why he is doing what he's doing and the recommendations he made to the president about the monument. It was interesting to me. His interpretation of the Antiquities Act was pretty similar to mine, but quite different from our previous administration. I know Downey said one of the most interesting things that the previous administration was trying to protect with the Antiquities Act was solitude. She says that's one of my favorite things, but I just don't see how we should be protecting solitude using the Antiquities Act. She said there's supposed to be objects, specific objects that are protected by the Antiquities Act, not things like solitude and dark skies and squirrels and pine trees and sagebrush. Those are not things that were supposed to be protected through the Antiquities Act. So in making the recommendations he made those based on specific objects, and we'll find out more about that on Monday. She also said that the administration was very, very intent on listening to local voices when talking about the monument. And I couldn't be more happy than to hear those words from the administration, that they were wanting to listen to the local voices. You know, there's so many NGOs and so many organizations that have big money all over the United States that wanted to influence the designation of that monument, that it just blew it completely out of proportion. And I think we're going to rein it back in on Monday with the announcement that comes from the president. So we're certainly grateful for what Zinke and his staff has done. And finally, I guess more than anything that we're here to do today, we're here to celebrate and thank President Trump. He's not your ordinary politician. I got a call yesterday from Rod Arquette, and he said, "How do the people of San Juan County feel?" And I said, "We feel like we just won the national championship in basketball." And he said, "Really? It's that a big a deal?" And I said, "It really is that big a deal. It's a big issue." President Trump has listened to 15,000 people that live in San Juan County. Do you think that makes any difference as far as trying to get votes? How many? 15,000 votes are nothing to a national vote for President Trump. But he cared about the people here in San Juan County, and he does care about them, and we're grateful to him, and we thank him for what he's going to do, and thank those three people. More than anything else, I want to thank the citizens of San Juan County for standing up for what they believe is right. I want to thank you for your involvement. I want to thank you for your support of San Juan County Commission. I want to thank my fellow commissioners, Commissioner Lyman. And I want to thank our rock star commissioner, Commissioner Benally. She's just been awesome. And I really appreciate both of these commissioners and appreciate the support and the unity we have as a county commission in this effort. Now we'll hear from Rebecca, then we're going to hear from Phil. We have Jerry Taylor here representing Garfield County, which is part of the Grand Staircase Escalante Monument. We'll hear from Jerry. Then we're going to hear from Senator David Hinkins, who is our state senator. We're going to hear from Curtis Wells from the Grand County Council. I've told these guys to keep it short, so don't leave. We're going to hear from Kerry Gibson, Weber County Commissioner, who cares about San Juan County. His daughter married Kelly Bradford's boy, and so he now feels like he's a member of San Juan County. Kelsey Berg is going to offer congratulations from the people that she represents. We'll have Adam Troop, who's the Utah Association of County Executive Director. We'll hear from Johnny Miller, who represents FIRM. We'll hear from Sheriff Rick Eldridge. We're going to have a couple of people speak on an open mic. I want to recognize from Dolores County, Commissioner Garcher. Where's Commissioner Garcher here today? He didn't want to speak, but he's here supporting San Juan County. We appreciate our fellow commissioners. I'd invited Larry Don Sukla. Did Larry Don make it here today? If he's here, he needs to come up. But he's been very supportive of what San Juan County's been doing. So Rebecca, then Phil, and then the others in that order. Thank you.
There's something about short people. They may be small package, but they're powerful. Rebecca Benali and Shiado, Kia Anich Netwo Hadlini, Bashishchin, Twachini Dashiche, Dot, Izadalche, Dashanala Hut Adine, Sun and Shlim. Good morning, everyone. Are you excited to be here? I am too. You know, this has been a good morning. There have been some sleepless nights and long prayers. And you know, prayers are answered. When Bears Ears National Monument was designated, it was a disheartening day. For me, for my communities, and for San Juan County citizens, and for people out in this country that have been bullied by special interest group that thought that they had the upper hand. But the beauty of grassroots people coming together. I can remember in St. George and at the state capitol, going to hearings and making presentations and looking out at 200-300 yellow shirted people, blue, brown, whatever it was. And my little voice speaking in behalf of 15,000 strong of San Juan County. Not just Native American people, but human beings here in San Juan County who chose to live here. We could move anywhere else in this country, maybe to make a little extra, but we choose to be here. This is our home. This is homeland. This is where our heart is, and this is where we want to make a living and raise our children. The Bears Ears area is considered a sacred area for Native Americans. The Paiutes, the Posey tribe Utes, the Navajos, those are the true tribes of San Juan County. While it may be a sacred site, we don't want thousands and thousands of people. As we give offerings as Native American people, we go there to gather herbs and medicinal plants for medicine, to cut wood to heat our home, and to cook food, and to graze our animals there so that we would have a prosperous year. And many other functions that it serves our country and our county. You know, there's been people from both sides of the aisle that thought that they were experts. And these are the people who wanted to define the narrative and pass judgment on us. And they were wrong all along, because these are people that didn't understand and couldn't find us on the map before this whole Bears Ears National Monument. They don't understand our culture, our history, and traditions that we have in San Juan County. Basically, these are people who can care less about us. As a Native American Diné woman standing here, it was very insulting that the bureaucrats thousands of miles away didn't believe we were capable of protecting and preserving our homeland we call San Juan County. When I know that bureaucrats have made promises to Native Americans and broken those promises again, and again. So why would they do any better? The special interest groups, the NGOs, are very selfish people. I refuse and do not agree that they romanticize what my elders have believed for generations in this country. We're not for sale, and we never will be. Our tradition and our culture. There are so many people to thank. One voice, one heart became many, a whole county. And we have gained friends from other states. Thank you for helping us fight this fight. Thank you to Secretary Zinke for coming to San Juan, Kane, and Garfield counties and listening to the grassroots people. His boots on the ground approach was unexpected, but well received. He's a good horse rider. As Commissioner Adams stated, I want to thank Senator Hatch and his staff. They have been champions for us and never giving up. And also, former Congressman Jason Chaffetz and his staff. I can remember Kelsey making one-day trips, putting in 10 to 15 hours a day to visit with the local people, listening to their wishes and their wants and their needs. So I just wanted to say thank you to Kelsey. And then also for President Trump, what can you say? As was stated earlier, he's not our average, predictable president, right? We appreciate the fact that he's not a typical politician, passing us over. As was stated earlier, we're 15,000 strong, but he paid attention. He knows where Bears Ears is. He knows where San Juan County, Utah is, not just Salt Lake City. He knows we're 6 hours away. We will appreciate his willingness, even though we know he will get backlash from the special interest group, because he's willing to stand up for the people and the economy of San Juan County. Most and foremost, thank you to the grassroots people of San Juan County. This would never happen without your willingness to share your voice. Voicing on social media, 11 o'clock at night, 2 o'clock in the morning. It helped. It worked. And that one voice became many voice. This whole tactic of divide and conquer did not work. In spite of that divisive tactic, we came together. Whether we were Native American, non-Native American, we started this fight together. Your work is the reason that we are here today, everyone, San Juan County residents. Thank you so much. It is an honor to be here today. We as commissioners we've just about done everything we could for the county and importantly for the people. Everyone, now it's time to continue in unity and move forward. Thank you very much. Hojona Hasli Akeha. Thank you.
I'm so glad this morning that Hillary is not our president. We stood out here about a year ago to come together and decide we're gonna work on this issue as after the monument had just been designated from a golf course in Hawaii, and it was a little bit colder here that day too, but it feels really good here this morning. I'll just say this: right is right and wrong is wrong, and as soon as people start trying to make decisions based on the popular sentiment, we're in big trouble. You know, there's a statement that says, do what is right, let the consequences follow. If we would do that, life is so much simpler. The truth is so much simpler than the false narrative that's being pushed onto us. You know, I don't know how many of you were able to see President Trump's Christmas address, but he said something there that was true and it was right. And where that's coming from? He said, each and every year at Christmas time, we recognize the real spirit of Christmas. That the real spirit of Christmas is not what we have, it's about who we are. Each one of us is a child of God. And so this Christmas, we ask for God's blessing for our family, for our nation. We pray that our country will be a place where every child knows a home filled with love, a community rich with hope, and a nation blessed with faith. I don't know how you could say it any better. We are a family. Why is there this constant effort to divide us, to emphasize the differences, when we are all children of God and we all care about each other? Nowhere have we seen this more than in San Juan County, where these outside special interest groups have come in with an agenda and they've tried to divide this county. I'm so grateful that we have people like Commissioner Benally who will stand up and speak the truth, Commissioner Adams, and all of you who have stood up and said, we are not separate. We are one county, we're one people, and we care about each other. Can you hear me better? And that's the simple truth. And it is who we are. It is what we're about. A few years ago, some unexpected things started to happen in this county. Congressional districts were shifted, and we picked up Jason Chaffetz as our representative instead of Jim Matheson, and that was a huge benefit for us. Jason Chaffetz is a great friend of San Juan County. And I promise you, he's not done standing up for San Juan County or being involved in politics. I look forward to his future. Our legislative districts were shifted, and we picked up Mike Noel as our representative, the herd bull. I don't know anybody in this world as likely as Mike Noel to drop everything and go to bat for someone just because it's the right thing to do. He's a great man, and I'm grateful to have him here. Mike Lee is one of the great constitutional scholars of our day. And it was a crazy day up there at the state convention. It was actually Tim Bridgewater that beat out Bob Bennett. Mike Lee gets blamed for that, but we picked up Mike Lee in place of Bob Bennett, and we could not have been more blessed with that. And then a little over a year ago, this country, in another miraculous thing, elected Donald Trump. And so we're just full of Christmas miracles. miracles, and that was a Christmas miracle too. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "God will not have his work made manifest by cowards. We need fighters." There's a time and a place for peace and good feelings. There's also a time to fight, and this is a time to fight, and I'm so grateful that we've got a fighter in the White House. I just came from the hospital where my daughter had a baby last night. Got to meet her for the first time this morning. She's beautiful. She's perfect. She was born in the same hospital. I shouldn't talk about family. She's born in the same hospital I was born in. And her mother was born in Blanding, and my dad was born in Moab. His dad was born here. We're from San Juan County. I don't know how else to put it. We're from San Juan County. Our revolutionary forefathers pledged their lives, fortune, and sacred honor, and so must every generation do the same thing. Thomas Jefferson said, "If we continue on the course we're on, there will be a time that we will recognize that our children are homeless in the continent their fathers conquered." That is not acceptable to me. It wasn't acceptable to our forefathers. It's not acceptable to me. Are we going to sit back now and witness the day that our children will wake up homeless on a continent that their fathers conquered? I hope not. So much blood has been spilt to preserve this nation. Are we going to now sit back and allow attorneys and judges to sell our freedom away and fill their pockets with taxpayers' money? No. The one thing that we have going for us, as I've looked at this, I've noticed that the biggest bullies are also the biggest cowards. And if you stand up, things will change. If we stand up, things will change. What's happened in San Juan County is also a miracle. When I look at the stewards of San Juan and how they came together, started putting things on social media, started to get together, it was a miracle. I sat in a meeting at my office where Nicole Perkins promised us that things would work out for our Freedom Fest. I always say, we've got to cancel. We've got to call this. The wind is coming. The storm's coming. Tornadoes were happening on that side of the state. Snowstorms on this side of the state. And in Blanding, the wind was calm, and we had an amazing, miraculous Freedom Fest. And I know it's the faith of these women that made that happen. So I guess I want to close up and say the simple message that President Trump shared in his Christmas message is the message that will heal this country. It's not divide, it's come together. It's to fulfill our duty for each other, our duty to take care of people who are less fortunate than ourselves, our duty to stand up for our country, our duty to stand up when things are being done to our neighbors that are not right. We have to be able to distinguish the sheep from the wolves in this situation. Our biggest enemies are those who use the same accent that we do, that go to church with us, and behind the scenes are selling us out. We've got to be vigilant. We've got to stand up and let them know that we are not going to put up with our freedoms being taken away from us in this day and age. That probably means it's time for me to sit down, but I will put on my... Let's make America great again. Let us not allow our children to become homeless on the continent their forefathers conquered. And Merry Christmas.
Got it? Good morning. I'm sure none of you or most of you don't know who I am, but my name is Jerry Taylor. I'm a county commissioner from Garfield County, Utah, and I'm here representing all the commissioners. They wish they could be here today, but they had other things going. It's a busy time right now, believe it or not, with the events of Monday coming, and we're excited. As you know, I'm here today to stand with you. We understand in Garfield County what you're dealing with. 21 years ago, right? Alex, where did Alex go? He tried to tell me it was 20 years ago, but 21 years ago, we were designated a monument, and we've lived with that for 21 years. And all we've asked for 21 years is that our voice be heard and that people listen to us. Finally, at this time, our voice is being heard, and we get an opportunity to have something done about what has happened in Garfield and Kane County with the Grand Staircase. I want you to know we love the land, and we're not out to destroy it or to do anything with it. We love Garfield County, and it is a beautiful place, and we're not out to destroy anything. We're there to make it better and to take care of it. You know, I've heard all these things about special interest groups. I beg to differ with that. I say they're selfish interest groups. And so it's appalling to me how some of the things they do. But anyway, as counties, we do need to stand together, and we need to stand firm, and we need to work together. I would like to thank the same people that have been thanked here today. I'd like to thank Senator Hatch for his unwavering strength. What a man. And for his going forward and pushing this agenda and wanting someone to listen to the people of these small counties. You guys have 15,000 in San Juan County. We have 5,000 people in Garfield County. So they're willing to listen to us as well. We'd also like to thank Secretary Zinke, who came to Garfield and Kane County the same time he came over here. And what a great man, and his insight, and for his staff, for all that they have done, and looking out for us. And hopefully great changes will be in store. I'd also like to thank Stewart's office for all that they've done, and for coming down and talking to us and listening to us. We need to thank them. And then for President Trump. I don't know about you, but what a president. I mean, he's not willing to give up. He stands up and he fights for the little guy. And that's what I love about him. He's willing to do whatever it takes to make sure the little guy is taken care of, and that every voice is going to be heard, and we appreciate him. Not only that, what I appreciate more than anything is that he realizes that it's Utah that he needs to come to when he makes an announcement. It's not going to be in Hawaii or Arizona. He's actually going to come to Utah, and I appreciate that. Now, would I like him on the steps here or in Escalante, Utah, right where the Grand Staircase is? Yes, I'd like him there, but we will take Salt Lake City, and we appreciate him coming there. And also, I'd like to tell all these commissioners and senators and everybody that works with us that we will stand with you. I want to thank you for standing with us. And I want to thank my other two commissioners for all that they do on everyone's behalf. They're great people, great commissioners, and we are a team. And I thank you for coming out, and I appreciate you. Thank you.
Well, I'm Senator David Hinkins, and I represent this area and southeastern Utah. I'm very grateful to be here today and to look at this happier faces than I seen a few years ago in Bluff, Utah, when there was talk of us when the Secretary of the Interior, Ms. Jewell, was there and made the announcements that they was here when we all knew their decision had already been made. And is that better? And I would just like to thank the Utah legislature. When we under the resolution this last session, it was almost a consensus. We had probably 80% of the legislature, if not 90%. We even had a few Democrats that signed on with this to rescind the resolution, to rescind the Bears Ears and the Escalante Monument, as well as our governor that signed it. I mean, he hasn't been thanked to here today, but I'll tell you what, Governor Herbert's been very proactive of helping us get our lands back here in Utah. And we won a battle here, possibly, but I don't think we've won the war. I think we've still got to really stick together and not be divided in groups. We've got to be able to stick together as a state, because San Juan may be out of the limelight, but I know that the county that I live in, Emery County, we've got designations that's been on the list for a long time, and I think it's just a matter of time they just keep picking us off. We need to get control of these lands under the state of Utah. And we need all the counties to stick together. I mean, we're unified, and we've got to stay unified. We may have a few counties that's not going to be with us, a part of them, but I think that a lot of the legislators that was there signed on to this, especially from the Grand Old Party. And I would like to thank them from the bottom of my heart for those that listened to us. Mike Noel has been mentioned, Representative Noel, but he's getting married this weekend, so that's the only excuse that we're giving him, is to not be here. Otherwise, I can assure you that he would be here in grand stature. But I am thankful for you guys, the support that you've given us, and I'm thankful for the state of Utah and the support that they've given. I don't know how many resolutions that since I've been in the legislature that we've sent back to Washington that's always fallen on deaf ears, and I'm so grateful for a president that pays attention to the people of Utah, and especially the counties of Utah. He's the only one that's really paid much attention to any of our resolutions, and I'm thankful for that. He's a godsend as far as I'm concerned. I'm very thankful for President Trump and for all the people that he's in his cabinet. And I wish that the Congress or the Senate would be more proactive in getting his people confirmed, so that we can move on as a nation and not be holding back, because there's a lot of work to do. I mean, I'm thankful for this tax cut that they're going to hopefully give to the people, that we can keep some of the money and have our corporations here in the United States competitive with the rest of the world. I'm thankful for just the opportunity to live in such a great state, and not only just a great state, but a great United States. And all I can say is thank God for America, and continue to bless us. Thank you.
Good day. My name is Curtis Wells. For those that you don't know me, I'm a Grand County councilman, Grand County to the north. It's an honor to be with you here today. I want to thank the San Juan County leadership for the invitation to join my fellow Southeastern Utahns today, so thank you very much. And I also want to acknowledge these three county commissioners that you have here in San Juan County. I can tell you that I have the greatest respect for them. And you will search to the far corners of this state to find three commissioners that work harder for you people. I guarantee you that. And you also have a great county executive in Kelly Pearson, who's usually very humble, but he's going sleeveless in this cool breeze, and that's a bold move, Kelly. So first, this is a very historic event and a historic time, and it is very important that we acknowledge Senator Orrin Hatch. Senator Orrin Hatch, who stood up for the great county commissioners of the 1970s in southeastern Utah when they held sagebrush rebellions. Cal Black, Jimmy Walker. So for him to come full circle and go to bat for us at this juncture is very important. So let's give a great round of applause for Senator Orrin Hatch. He's proven that he's had our back. And I want to thank Secretary Zinke for doing what the previous administration didn't do, and that's put real boots on the ground and look you people in the eyes and engage you on what's best for this land. Sally Jewell, the previous secretary, came through this part of the country under the Obama administration and pretended to engage with the people. She was escorted by special interests and failed to deliver on what's best for these people, what's best for this land. And that takes courage, for Secretary Zinke to actually do the work, to get on horseback, to put that boots on the ground and really engage the people. So thank you to him. I want to say that during the calls and the meetings and discussions with people from the interior, what's been interesting to me is when discussing President Trump and Secretary Zinke, I heard the word action more times in a 10-minute conversation than I've heard in the last 5 years. Now think about that. Take a step back and think about that. You have a president who values, a businessman who values action and execution and doing what's right. Is he perfect? Absolutely not. Nobody here is perfect, maybe except Kelly. But it is because of his ability to get the job done and execute that we're going to have the celebration and the judgment in the next coming days. So how about a round of applause for President Donald Trump? But it is ultimately important and very crucial that we do not take our eye off the ball. While this is a great thing that's being done in correcting this wrong, it is not a gain unless we are gaining ground, and this is fixing a wrong. So the next step to gain ground is to amend the Antiquities Act to exempt Utah. That is the next item that we must take care of. And the work goes on from there. We've got to stay focused. We've got to stay united. And remember that not since 1976, since the passage of the Federal Land Policy and Management Act, has an act this bold, this courageous, and this right on public lands has ever been done. And we've got to continue that momentum. So let's enjoy this. Let's stand tall and proud like you have been. I've got to tip my hat to you people of San Juan County for how courageous you've been. The special interests and the barbarians at your gates that have invaded this beautiful country. I tip my hat to you. God bless you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the opportunity to be here with you for a few minutes today. My name is Kerry Gibson. I'm a fifth-generation dairy farmer from Ogden, Utah. I've got my Weber State University shirt on because they're playing today in the playoffs, and I'm proud to be from Ogden, and I'm proud to have the opportunity to be with you today. I'm missing the game for this. And it's a good trade. It's a good trade. You're thinking, I'm sure, what in the world is a county commissioner from Ogden, Utah doing in San Juan County today? And why do I care? And I'll tell you why. For a couple of reasons. First of all, I love you with all my heart. I have for a very long time. I feel like I was kind of born in the wrong place. I mean, I love Ogden, but I was born in the wrong place. I don't wear the cowboy hat, and I probably have a little shit on my boots. I'm just saying. I don't wear the cowboy hat lightly. It means something to me. You are the people that I identify with. In fact, when I found out that my daughter was going to marry a kid from Blanding, the first thing I did was call my friend Bruce Adams, Commissioner Adams, and I said, Bruce, don't let my daughter marry no crazy person. You tell me what I need to know about the Bradfords. He said, Kerry, my friend, that man has taken bullets for the people in this county, and you can't go wrong with a hometown boy from Blanding, Utah. And I am so glad that you're that. So here's what it comes down to. I represent a county of about 250,000 up the roadaways, about 6 hours. And when Bruce Adams and Phil Lyman and Rebecca Benally call me and tell me that they need help in San Juan County, I will be here every single time. Because they are here for me, they are here for us throughout this state, and I appreciated what Commissioner Lyman said about unity, because the reality is there aren't that many of us, and so we have to stand together when we can. And so when I talk to folks with the Utah Association of Counties and the National Association of Counties and throughout our communities, I try to remind them that if this can happen to you, it can happen to me. If your rights can be taken, they can be taken from me just as quickly, even though there might be 250,000 standing behind me. We're never going to compete with the special interest on those coasts that want to take away our freedoms. And so we must stand together. We must stand on the streets or wherever it takes and be one in what we know is right. And so I will stand here with you. If it's snowing, if it's raining, in any weather, I'll drive 6 hours to make sure that we can do this together, because I love this community. I love our state of Utah. I love our nation, and I will be damned if I'm going to let the tyranny of the majority on those coasts take away my freedoms as they take away yours. So ladies and gentlemen, we do owe a great thanks to a president who says what he believes and then does what he says. We have an opportunity on Monday to stand with him and be a part of a revolution of this nation that will bring back freedoms to each and every one of us individually. So thank you so much for having me here. Thank you for being a part of this revolution and this movement. And thank you for doing what you know to be right and standing with these great people today. Thank you.
So my name is Kelsey Berg, and I'm probably the least important person on this whole program. But I'm representing Utah Farm Bureau here, and we are excited to join with y'all in this celebration, to push back and to have a president who listens and wants to allow all of you to have the American dream and live your life the way you want to, whether that's farming or ranching, or whether it's recreation or hunting or fishing, or just riding your four-wheeler out in the... Anyway, I don't know what I was going to say. I'm just excited to be here. As Commissioner Benally said, kind of as a personal note, what is going on? As a personal note, I did work for Congressman Chavitz for a couple years, and spent many hours on the road coming to San Juan County to meet with everyone from Aneth and Mexican Hat and Mexican Water all the way up to here in Monticello, and I'm so excited for you all. It's an amazing opportunity, and I have permission to say a couple words on behalf of Congressman John Curtis, who now represents this area, and he is looking forward and currently working with the delegation to make sure that something like this never happens again in San Juan County and in the state of Utah. And it's an awesome thing to have the delegation come together and be unified in that voice to make sure that local people are heard and that we have a say, and that local management is best and those closest know what's best for the land. And so I'm excited to be here. I'm really humbled and excited for you all on this day and on Monday, and I hope you all celebrate. And Senator Hinkins was right. This is just the battle, and it's amazing to see y'all on social media, and I sometimes get sucked in, but I'm trying really hard not to let y'all fight your battles. But I hope you all stay unified and that we keep fighting this and pushing back until we get the ultimate goal, which is exemption from the Antiquities Act, so that one person thousands of miles away cannot affect the lives of San Juan County residents. So thank you all.
Thank you. My name is Adam Troop, and I'm the director for the State Association of Counties. In that position, I represent not only county commissioners, the other county officials in San Juan County, but also all the others. Sorry. You're elected county officials around the state. And as you're all probably aware, we have a range of opinion even amongst Utah residents about what should happen with Bears Ears, what should happen with Grand Staircase. And we continue that dialogue internally, and we will, as Utahns, continue that discussion. But I think what's most important and what we've seen from this event and what we're going to see and learn on Monday is the fact that as Utahns, we all stand together in the idea that we should hear local voices, and that the voices of people who live on the ground in a community should be the strongest voice. And I want to thank the county commissioners and the entire county representatives in this county for standing up for all of you and for continuing to bring that message forward and to continue to be the voice for the public. I think the biggest thing that I take away from this is that we are seeing a good example of how you all can make progress and can keep pushing to develop, to protect yourself and to protect your own interests as well as protecting the land. And I think I speak for everyone who I represent in saying that we all pretty well strongly believe together that the federal government does not need to come in and to take steps to protect the land from the people who live on it and love it. And we appreciate your continued effort to make that point for all of us and take care of the land that you love. Thank you all.
We got another rock star here with us, Grandma Betty Jones. She's asked to speak. And when a woman wants to speak, I let him speak.
Hey Bruce, get that mic real close so it goes out live. You lose audio if it's not close.
He just saying get it close to her mouth.
I see what and it's color dashi anilko aro on bitakain sengi roden donota ako and then hit it and get on here shadow and then shensen so in Sweden ako Navajo in no ye bedan hoji eradan hito den nedan itla eda adi in hinla even da hot ako David ani ein shon de shindi ako shit ako shiyaho ako dosani tale bini na wa sa bahazan di dosa ando Shash Jaa وليه صدقن بداديت نهغا بداديت بنينا نيتخا نخيه أدو يا إسكايجي دوكه كتاب سلكويدشين إسكايجي كتن سلام ديت شايه أصلا نيتليه لاني خارج يا تناديكها كي نيت أنا هالني Washington is Jenny Barnett. We should need all of it. Shall not home not like if the whole year. Share the snack for us, the Corosal. Shadow Shahan has not a dini. A cat and what are the Lagana send out the nun send out dancing on Hasti. What I share and in slinging out the Ako adoni hinat ani abigahan ol ihonit arayo na lordi enlet edabdi no dot ida dat sorseviya nadet ahduinunda ako kadida chidil lohi wolge heki dotala dido to ajo de la hot abato deskes eben na chidil lohi shala pada di na hot la Eot apada ye, Nathan Nanki, Tashido Badaso, as a Shindik is a sheet on a clean dead, and the sheik at a night of cut, which is a night of cut. Yat Evan Hanahos, get Lanson. Spagan, Ninat on it to the Sutake. Hayat Evan Nanikinla, Nanikito Dress. Now, it's Edil, either then. Don't he ate Edala then? One hit in Yanaya, Yanas. I think that a Yandy. Don't need a band is dead Edala. It is what a heartness. Got cats and I can see on that ice collection and son. Anna Edahouse, Alanson, Kayakanis, Anna Honey, what a Kesha nicely that I know that Kawatada or the Yakuna service for Hada, the end date Yakuna. But not a yard ever, Nikisawi or us. Then it's an sick. Yard ever, Nikisawi or us all get out and get out. Nikisas out of the said that no Eva Yadi, we did not that is no Nana. You cut it over the gun and not only done, then you cut it. I could all come outside every other church and never care. Oh, no, not surely yet, never care. The art at the never Koya Naha at either Bistic, no, either woman honey, card and it either cut in undaily, either because in daily, either see, but in a lot we need none. What arts and Nahol Aven each yeah, sense. For the yard, get last out of this card that I'm not on the head of that. Well, I need Avenard dog, is the yard has out of this ensign. They call what Sagona had tradition at or Chongo dog. I put everyone his out of this ensign. Need that at a hundred or this, and then he said, Ningy. What I wrote this, Coven had is the dog pass. I don't the acorn that needs or chin the acorn. I can that a cuddle this, egg in the dart or this. There the chair with avance, as case even to get the sniff ash more than Shakar, or Shakar, not Jaggy back Henson. I don't know, that under the Keelan. Thunder by Ellen. I was the northern Akayan, but it's out Carolans. I'm Shishikaya, no, I don't ever hunt that cow. This student is the hospital. The person yonder only is other. Yet, she is only and done. Although Elden had not old done, Ella, yeah, dancing, he got Ella with the clown. The kiddos and none of them. The what's the go deep corner, so Kada is jaggy, don't they? I was eat and they, as you know, not did I need not and hidden and card it on it. You tabby it off and one card it get off, then hidden and card on there. Yeah, down there, she, that's people, the end it, I thought. Marina not badly are Washington, every bridge, not neat gas, and on then your candle. Well, so any still not talk, but I don't cut this kind, more with honey late, none.
Grandma Betty Jones said thank you and greetings to everyone. She remembers a year ago that it was hard to have a smile knowing that Bears Ears area in San Juan County felt like we were losing this land. But I didn't lose hope. I turned to my prayers. I didn't want to be and feel beaten. I turned to my prayers. I lost faith in President Obama. I cried because this is my homeland. It made me think about the parties, the Democrat and the Republicans. I think I'll become a Republican. I thank President Trump when Navajo Nation, my own nation, works against us. Thank you, everyone. I'm glad that my grandkids valued education and that we all have education. I want to get back to how our lives were and was. And I want to move forward and not to have to worry about being leery of what might happen again in San Juan County and especially to the Bears Ears area. In Navajo, it's called Shash Jaa. It's considered a sacred area and also called the Nebuchadnezzar that has been wrongly used. Let's get back to our livestock, to farming, and to the agriculture. And let's find ways to get water to areas that need it. I look down and I look at the green grass. That's how I want the area to be. Thank you for all your help. My husband in the past, S.P. Jones, has worked as you all have. Maybe without his work, we might have lost this land. But together, today, I want to move forward in harmony, in beauty, and that we all need to stand and work together. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. I'm Johnny Miller. I'm the Executive Director of the Foundation for Integrated Resource Management. It's a small 501c3 that we created a couple years ago, just in time to help you out with your endeavors down here in San Juan County. One of the commissioners that I've worked with for many years tells a story about a visit that he made to Washington, D.C. to have a discussion with his representative in his district, his congressman, and they were talking about the issue at hand, and the congressman turned to this county commissioner and said, "Well, Commissioner, that's all fine and good, but here's a stack of letters from your opponents. Where are your letters?" And the moral of that story, and I know he shared it with a lot of other commissioners around the state, is for some reason, Washington doesn't believe that your elected representatives speak for you anymore. They want special interest groups and individuals in the media to speak for you rather than the people who you voted into office to do that very thing, to represent you there. And so they figured out a few years ago that they need another conduit to Washington. They can't do it on their own. Neither can the Utah legislature at times. They need other ways for you to speak to Washington to get the job done. Where are your letters? That's the way it needs to be done. So they went together, the commissioners and the legislature, and formed groups like FIRM to be able to make sure that your voice is heard in other ways other than the elected representatives that are supposed to be the way that it's done, because that's just not the way it's done anymore. So I'm really glad to have been a part of an organization that was put in place just in time to help you get your voice heard. And I want to, a lot of thanks have gone out to a lot of people, and some have recognized the thanks that need to be made here. But I want to thank you for your letter. I want to thank you for your letter. And I want to thank you for your letter. because I know in speaking to the representatives at the Department of Interior that the letters that came with a postmark from Monticello, San Juan County, Utah, meant a lot more to them than those that came from Los Angeles and Vermont and Florida. And some have already said the fight's not over. And it'd be nice if it wasn't a fight, because we all want the same thing. We all want to protect this land. We just have different ideas about how it's supposed to be done. But there are those that are going to fight. They've already said they'll sue. And so your letters are still going to be needed, because that, again, is one of the best ways that we can make sure that your voices are heard. Your individual stories of how this affects you here in San Juan are so important to the Department of Interior, to President Trump. And it's obvious today that that was the thing that tipped the scales. And I want to make a special thanks to Secretary Zinke and President Trump for the first time ever, opening up a comment period and allowing individual citizens to be able to make their voices heard and send their letters and send their comments so that they could hear your individual stories and how the Bears Ears Monument and Grand Staircase Monument have affected your lives here in southern Utah. So again, look for those groups that can help you make your voice heard. Still continue to work through your elected representatives, but we need to take a multiple approach to this to make sure that the false narratives, because they'll come fast and furious come Monday afternoon, that those false narratives are responded to. You know, the first of which will be this can't be done, it's never been done. We all know that 18 times presidents have downsized monuments in the past, including on both sides of the aisle, including President John F. Kennedy. So it can be done. I hope it will be done on Monday, and but the fight will continue afterwards, and we hope that you'll remain strong and help us in that fight. Thank you very much.
I just want to say how grateful I am for you good people. You are the salt of the earth that have come out here today, and I want to have you give yourselves a round of applause. Most of all, I'm grateful to God for inspiring great men to draft the Constitution of these United States. If you go back in U.S. history, and most of you have, I know, you've learned this in school and from your parents, our forefathers, George Washington in particular, he was an inspired man of God, a God-fearing man that brought about the freedoms that we enjoy today. If you read about the battles and everything that took place during the Revolutionary War, I mean, those are really quite miraculous, those things that happened, whether he was escaping the British or whether he was winning those battles. This was inspired. This country is inspired of God. It really is. The freedoms and the liberties that we have are godsends. I want my good wife to come up here. Stand next to me here. I got something to show you. Take a look at this jersey she's got here. Isn't that awesome? That jersey actually belongs to my son, and we're actually going to go up to the state capitol, and I just pray that I can get close enough to President Trump. Maybe he'll sign it for us. Anyway, I'm grateful to President Trump. I firmly believe that he is a godsend, that similar to our forefathers, this is a man inspired of God to do what he's doing. I still firmly believe that the prayers of San Juan County are what got President Trump into office, that the good Lord listened to us. But anyway, grateful to him that he will stand up against tyranny. He'll stand up against these people that are trying to take over the lies and everything that have come about. He doesn't care. He cares about us. He cares about the good people of San Juan County, and he cares about what is doing right. And I'm grateful to him, to Secretary Zinke. I'm very grateful to our commissioners These are also God-inspired people. They really are, and they lead us very well. And you're in great hands. Thank you very much.
Thanks to everybody that's spoken so far. We're going to have just a couple more speakers, and then I'm going to give you some instructions about Monday. So Jamie Bayless is going to read a statement from Stewards of San Juan. Mariah Harris is going to speak to us quickly, and then Susie Philemon is going to give a thank you, and then I'll end the meeting by telling you a little bit more about what's going to happen on Monday. So Jamie.
Good afternoon. How's everybody doing? I do have a statement, but before that, I was looking around, and I know a lot of you are filming, taking pictures, which is awesome. But I also know that some of you are live streaming, which again is awesome. But I also know that on the other end of that live stream are probably people that don't agree with this. And to those people, I just want to say, please stop and take 60 seconds to talk to one of us. Don't rely on headlines or hearsay. Just genuinely stop and talk to one of us, because I think you'll understand that we have a lot in common. We want the same things. We want to protect the area, as always. We're not the, radical anti-monument, pro-drill people that we are being played out as in the media. So just please stop, come and talk to us. I think you'll understand that we're on the same level here. So thank you for that. So this is on behalf of the Stewards of San Juan. This is our statement. The Stewards of San Juan County enthusiastically support President Trump's bold leadership on the issue of the Bears Ears National Monument designation and appreciate his willingness to listen to the people of San Juan County. It is an amazing first step in the right direction for ending the continuous abuse of the Antiquities Act, and we applaud the President's efforts on that. I think this is a victory for rural communities. I really do. However, the fight's not over. It's just going to start. It's just begun. So right now, it's up to Congress to assure that the new boundaries of the monument are made permanent, and this can be done by exempting the state of Utah from the Antiquities Act. Just as the states of Wyoming and Alaska have been exempt. We are confident that Congressman Rob Bishop can get such an exemption passed in the United States House of Representatives. Senator Orrin Hatch has the most seniority of any other Republican in the Senate, and it could be another 50 years before Utah has another senator with as much power and influence as Senator Hatch. We hope that he will use his seniority to make this right for Utah, and the timing could not be better. Just last week, a member of his staff, John Tanner, joined the Department of Interior as the Director of Legislative Affairs. And with a Utahn in that position, we believe that he could motivate the Trump administration to support making the new monument boundaries they created permanent through an Antiquities Act exemption. Utah is very lucky to have a powerful and dedicated congressional delegation. We know that Senator Mike Lee can rally the national conservative movement behind this cause. Congressman Chris Stewart can add his input on ensuring that the changes to Grand Staircase are made permanent in his district. Congresswoman Mia Love has consistently supported reforming the Antiquities Act. This is a great opportunity for Congressman John Stewart, our new elected official, to prove to rural Utahns that we elected and sent the right man back to Washington, D.C. by supporting this cause.
John Curtis.
I'm sorry. Who did I say?
Stewart.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Sorry. I'm nervous. Okay. John Curtis, I apologize for that.
So yeah, if you can prove to us that we elected the right person, that'd be great. Amen. Last but not least, so this is a historic opportunity for Utah, and we believe that we have the right people in Washington to see it through. So thank you very much, and I hope to see all of you on Monday up at the Capitol. Thank you.
Good afternoon. It is a good day to be a resident of San Juan County. I'm Mariah Harris. I was born in Monticello, Utah. My family, along with many others here today, have made their homes here since the 1800s. This is my home, this is our home, and will continue to be our home for generations to come. We have taken care of our prestigious land that we so dearly love, the beautiful place we call home. I've spent many summers and winters along the Abajo Mountains and down into the rocky ravines of Canyonlands. President Obama and Secretary Sally Jewell ignored our voices and tried to take away our home, commercialize untouched land, and take away our free way of life. We can't be silenced. We are San Juan County. Our rural voices matter, and they have been heard. We are here today to thank those who have listened. Senator Hatch, Secretary Zinke, and President Trump. Thank you for listening to those people most affected by a horrendous abuse of government power and continued abuse of the Antiquities Act. Thank you for restoring our faith in the American government. Thank you for recognizing that this designation was nothing more than a political bargaining chip that threatens our access to public lands. Thank you for also valuing our peaceful community and way of life over the greedy companies who want to exploit what we call home in order to let it fall victim to yet another corporate playground. We are farmers, we are ranchers, we are teachers and business owners. We are hard workers. We will continue to be good stewards of this beautiful land. We are San Juan County, and we are strong. Thank you.
All right. That's a secret. No, just kidding. My name is Susie Philemon. I'm from Cracker Mesa, and I've been me and my family, we've been very vocal from the start, and among were some other constituents too, and the reason why we were very, very vocal was because we're descendants of Bears Ears. And I have my grandfather's picture on my cell phone. When he used to come to our house, he used to say, "Don't never give that land up over there. That's where we originate from." So, I really thank you, all of you, from the bottom of my heart, for your help, that we supported each other, and that together we're going to win this. Even though right now it seems like it's going to be a battle. Yes, it is. But together, as we stand and be united, we are going to win this. And I thank you, God, from the bottom of my heart, because my prayers has been answered, as well as yours. And then also, I thank you for all the Utah delegates, Governor Herbert, and down to the San Juan County people, San Juan County commissioners, and down to the grassroots people. And I hope to God that God will continue to hear our prayer, and that He's going to stand with us. And I know that I voice my opinions a lot of time on Facebook, and I've been a Facebook warrior all this time for or bear's ears. And I remember, like Grandma Jones says, she says, last year I was in tears when Obama signed the proclamation. And I was very upset. And I said that Obama is not my president. And but from there on, I said to myself, I'm not going to stop fighting. My fighting spirits, my ancestor and my ancestral land is they're going to give me the spirit to continue to fight, and that's exactly what we did. And I thank you. And from here on, I hope to God that we continue to be supporting to each other. I know that a lot of times that we made a lot of trips, and then also we made a lot of speeches, and we met senators and congressmen and Governor Herbert. And I did, as I was flying to, last year in September, while I was flying to DC to speak at the nation's capital during a press conference, I was like, wow. But then again, I was kind of scared, thinking that, wow, I'm going to speak in front of all these intelligent people. But then I took my daddy's picture, and I took my grandfather's pictures, and I kept reminding myself, you got to do it because you're a descendant of that area. And so today I brought my sister's medal. Her and I used to run in the cross country. I don't know what I did with mine, but I still have hers. And I brought it because this is a symbol of finishing the race. And that's exactly what we're going to do together, right? And so, God bless America, especially San Juan County. And I'm so thankful to President Trump. And I know that sometimes that President Trump kind of says funny things. I take it as a kind of like a funny thing. Everybody came over to his speech about Pocahontas, but to me it's like, okay, he's not really attacking Pocahontas. You know, he's just attacking somebody that claims to be a Native American, and which she's not. And then with the picture that he had on the wall of Andrew Jackson, and you all know what Andrew Jackson did, is that he tried to eliminate the Native Americans, but then he put Andrew Jackson's picture up there, and he brought in the code talkers, Navajo code talkers. And to me, how I perceived it was, screw you, Andrew Jackson. You're dead, but we're here. These Navajo code talkers are here. And you know what? The land that you wanted so bad, these men, they made America a free country, right? Right. Thank you.
Boy, that says it all, doesn't it? I'm with you, Susie. Okay, I can't confirm anything, but I've heard it reported that there's going to be something happening in Salt Lake on Monday. I've been reminded a number of times by the White House and by the Department of Interior that I cannot confirm anything. So I know nothing. But if you're hanging out on Monday, you might decide to drive to Salt Lake. There might be something going on up there that would be of interest to you. If you can't go to Salt Lake, I hear rumor that there's going to be a listening party down at the hideout. So there may be other listening parties going on someplace in the county. But I just have a feeling that Monday's going to be one of the great days in San Juan County, and I hope that all of you can be part of it. I know the commissioners, we're just going on a hunch that we might need to be in Salt Lake on Monday. Commissioner Benally might even have a speech prepared. And she might be sitting right next to President Trump. I've heard rumor. Who knows? And I understand Phil Lyman might be on the stage with the delegation and President Trump. And I'm just hoping and praying that I get to be part of this whole thing as well. Thank you, San Juan County, for being here today. Thank you to everybody for your part in what's happened. Let's have a great weekend.